So for the benefit of those who really don't know what's going on, especially as it concerns this lady, so let's just give you a little background. So Abiola Adebisi, husband of the trending Nigerian lady Deborah Lovett, also known as Debbie, has reacted to the donations they received so far from Nigerians on social media. Recall that Debbie went viral after revealing on X how she began waking up at 4:50 a.m. to cook for her husband. The tweet generated a lot of controversies. While some berated her for the development, others described her as a good wife and have continued to donate money and other items to her and her husband. The donations received so far by the couple include over 10 million naira in cash, 2 new Infinix smartphones, 2 furniture, petroleum voucher, among others. That's from the NNPCL. Reacting to the development via his ex account on Saturday, Debbie's husband Abiola described her as a blessing in his life. Who wouldn't say that? Abiola wrote, "I blessed the day I met this woman." Also describing her as a prayer warrior. In another post, he wrote, "She can pray, my God, in human form." This is unprecedented, and it's not going to stop here, okay? There's going to be more people who are going to donate to this cause. And it goes to show a lot of things. There are different angles to this story, though. I just wanted to simmer down a little bit to some of the things that actually cropped up. And I first of all want to appreciate every single individual and persons around the world who have, in one way or another, showed some love to this woman. But I just wanted to point out a few things about this particular story. This lady, she was trying to make sure that her husband stops eating the food of a co-worker, a single female. I can imagine how close this family was. A man will not go and tell the wife in his right mind. I can imagine the situation that brought about that conversation. A man will be careful in telling his wife that he is eating from a single lady in his office. A man will hardly do that. I tell you for free. So I can imagine how close this family was, how casual they were at the time that he revealed that. Oh, there's this lady, a single lady that comes to work with an extra spoon because she wants to share her lunch. And that triggered something from her. And as soon as she heard that from him, she decided to start waking up at 4:50 a.m. And being a woman who has been on social media, she, just shared that as a way of even inspiring other people. But what did she get? A backlash. The so-called feminists came through and started bashing her. Who the hell is he? Why are you waking up at that time? Because you want to feed your husband. Come on, doesn't he have some measure of control over himself? At least he could come back and eat from you. Blah, blah, blah. Whoa. In fact, there was one that got me triggered. But of course, I didn't reply to that. But the lady was responding and saying that she didn't have a fridge, to put food in, and for it to stay that long. And someone replied to her and said, a lady now started bashing her that how come you are cooking for somebody, for a husband who doesn't even have money to buy you a fridge to at least preserve these food for quite a while. And before you know it, someone replied to her and said, send your account, let me send you money to buy that fridge. And that was a trigger. Money started coming in. It's madness. Now, I'm shocked at the way people want to project their idiocy on people. This is a woman who has genuinely wanted to stop something in her family. She wanted to be sure that the husband doesn't eat from a single lady in the office. And then you are telling her, why is she doing that? You are trying to stop her from doing what works for her. How dare you? What are you doing? So she stops it, let the man continue eating from the girl, and then at the end of the day, we know how these kinds of stories go. And you know what they say about food. The only way to a man's heart, most of the time, is through food. Even though I understand that sometimes you can't really help it. Only God knows what is going on, what they may have put in the food. So the woman was scared, or really scared, that she might lose this man if he continues eating from the single lady. And that was what I thought is a woman who has brain, who has sense, should be doing. Not listening to some of this feminism's nonsense. And speaking of feminism, let's even talk about feminism just a bit. People have really denigrated what feminism really is. Feminism is opportunities for everyone across gender. That you have a job opportunity in your office and it's over like 300,000 naira with a car attached to it, an accommodation attached to it, with XYZ amount attached to it. And then if you're employing someone for that position, don't say because it's a lady, I will remove the house because she really doesn't need it. She's a woman. What would she need? What would a single woman need a house for? Or are you sure this 300,000 naira is okay? Let's give her 200 or 150 because she's a woman. No. If you are employing somebody, employ across board. If it's a woman, give that woman the worth of everything that you say that you're giving for that position. Not because it's a woman that now you start changing it. Or maybe there's a particular job opportunity, or there's a particular a job to be done in the office, and because because there are two genders, you think a man should be able to do it better than the woman. No, we're talking opportunities for both women and women, for both women and men. Opportunities for these two genders. But we have reduced it to being equal to the man. Equal opportunities is not the same thing as equal to the man. You're not equal to the man. You can never be equal to the man. I think ladies should put this at the back of their mind. A man can never be a woman. A man can never be equal to a woman. A woman can never be equal to a man. These things were done from the get-go. There is a hierarchy of being. Even in the house, there's a hierarchy of things in the house. Somebody has to lead. That's why there's a president, there's a vice president, there is a senate president, that is a deputy senate president, there's a speaker. There is a hierarchy. And in the scheme of things, how God has done this thing, has built the earth, man is the head of the house. And there are times that the man may not be able to provide for the women. It doesn't take away the fact that you have become equal to him. No. If you are the one that is providing for the man or providing for the family, is it going to be like that forever? Of course not. So equal opportunities is what I buy into. Not you being equal to a man. You can't be equal to a man. But people have taken it, especially the feminism that we see in Nigeria. You want to be the head of the man. You want to be the one to impregnate yourself. You want to be the one to have muscle. You have the one. No. Let's shove that aside. Another point that I like to make, especially as it concerns that particular story, is that everything was amplified by social media. Everything was amplified by social media. So how are you taking your social media seriously this year? How much of social media do you do in a day, in a week? Somebody once said that you can use your social media platform to replace your 9-to-5 job. And I agree 100%. The only thing is, what are you selling? How good are you with selling? How much of that thing you have that you feel can actually change the life of people out there? Yes, you can actually replace your 9-to-5 work by doing your social media and getting serious with it. Yes. There's a gazillion of... I don't think we have even scratched the surface of what social media can do. There was an article I was reading that I think one of them, whether YouTube or Facebook, that they earmark several billions of dollars to give to content creators, for the year. That at the end of the year, that the monies are reversed back to the account because they didn't have people who claimed it. Like, the monies were not given because people didn't create content to the expectation of the company. They have rules and regulations and all of those things, that they earmark a certain amount of monies running to billions of dollars, that people don't meet the criterion for earning that money. well, maybe they should start reducing the criteria, in reaching and making that money. But because these days I see a lot of people developing contents these days, and it's crazy. But we haven't scratched the opportunities. We haven't scratched, the top of the opportunities that actually social media, gives. So I'm just thinking, if this woman did not bring this story, this her harmless short story to the social media, Twitter, she wouldn't have gone viral. She wouldn't have been a millionaire today. She wouldn't have her husband, being begged to come and take scholarship with institutions around the world. It's madness. Take your social media seriously, just in case you haven't done it or you haven't started. Start now. Start now. Don't wait for anybody. So social media has a role to play. Yes, there are all downsides of it. You got to be careful the way you use social media. So look, do what works for you. What works for A will not work for B. And stop listening to some of these people who give advice online. I really don't understand how you don't know this person, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know their background, you don't know who they are, but because of the way they speak, their mannerism, their doings, you see, no, this person is this person. I should believe. No. Create your own persona. Yes, listen to these people, but sieve out the things you want to sieve out. And even on this content, I'm not sure that's everything that I'm going to say that you're going to take. Don't swallow everything I say. I'm a human being. I didn't fall from the sky. Okay, I'm a human being. Sorry about that. I'm a human being, and trust me, I make mistakes. I may have said something that you don't believe in. Yes, of course, we said things. Do you know how many things that you must have said that, it would have been a lie, or is a lie, or you're just trying to push a certain narrative? These things are not really real. But then, there are things you take and say, you know what, I'm taking this, and the other one I'm sieving it. Learn from things that happen to you. Very, very important. But on a final note, I actually wanted to say, that it shows now that the average African man appreciates a homely woman across board, irrespective of what the culture says from the other part of the world, the influence that we have been receiving back and forth with what's going on around the world, divorces here and there. But the average African man and African woman appreciate the togetherness, the bond, that marriage, the genuine form of relationship that begets kids and children brings. I mean, just look at the love around the world. Look at the love around the world. Just because this woman was trying to project the fact that she is stopping her husband from eating from a single woman who brings food every day to work. Just imagine the heart. And it's mostly men. I'm not taking statistics, but trust me, there are mostly men who are doing these giftings to this woman. Mostly men who are doing these giftings to this woman who has decided that I want to be homely, I want to focus on this man, and I am ready to take the bull by the horn. And something again I noticed, prayer works. She had prayed for her husband in December, stating that she would love God to bless him so much that he deserves much more than he actually has at the time. But here we are, the new year starting barely 7 days into it, and she's been blessed tremendously from not just her ingenuity, but from her character, her womanhood, her sense of family that she brought to her life. Tell me, do you think that this family will forever forget this gesture that the whole world is standing still to? That's something I want us to learn. The African culture, no matter how strong the influence has become, the African culture, the African man, the African woman still upholds the tenacity and the strength of togetherness that comes with family. Like it or live it. See you on the next one. God bless you.